excerpt of the voice of Mahatma Gandhi in that book. We could not do that on paper book. We could only write about Mahatma Gandhi, but we could not listen to him while we were reading to the book. These digital books are what is their importance for persons with blindness and low vision? One thing is that I can read these digital books directly as they are. Means a digital book which is released at Google Books, I could simply download it, put it on my device and start reading it. Besides this very digital book is also the source document to create a hard copy Braille book. To produce Braille book, first of all, I need to create a digital book, and then only I take a Braille printout of that book. I could also create an audio recorded book, a talking book, out of this digital book. I could also create a large print, hard copy, or large print on screen book out of this digital book. So in simple words, digital book is the mother of all other accessible formats, may it be Braille, talking book, or large print book. Now, unfortunately, all digital books are not accessible. The way that all websites cannot be read using screen reading software, similarly, all digital books cannot be accessible digital books. What hampers the format? If a digital book text is presented only as an image, I can't read anything out of that. So, when I read a book, I need navigational facility in it. I need that the book could be converted to Braille. I need that a book could be read out by my screen reading software. What stops a digital book to do that? First thing, for Indian languages, the font which is used to write these digital books, if they are not Unicode compliant, that book is almost useless for persons with print disabilities. For seeing persons, maybe that book is still showing as Hindi characters. But if the font is not compliant to Unicode, the screen reader will not be able to read it. The Braille conversion software will fail. So for example, if you go to the website of NCERT, we have books in Indian languages, all textbooks available for downloading from there. Unfortunately, almost all those books use a font which is not Unicode compliant. So when the National Braille Press of India wanted to create a Braille book of those NCERT books, it had to actually retype each and every word, each and every character of that book to reproduce that as an accessible book. Just for our knowledge, the Unicode is actually a digital code. We all, I think, have heard sometime or the other that on a computer, everything is stored as numbers. A letter A, for example, is stored on my computer as number 65. The small a is stored as number 97. So a digital number is assigned to every character, and then it gets stored on my computer or on my mobile phone. And Unicode is a standard assignment of this digital code to a character, to every character of every language of the world. That is what Unicode is. A hexadecimal code, for example, 0915, is assigned to Indian letter K. If a font assigns a different digital number to this letter K, it will not be interpreted correctly by this text-to-speech engine, the screen reading software, or braille translation software. The second problem is the format. A closed format such as PDF gives me very less options to take the text out and convert it into a format that is more conducive for me. There is no tool available, for example, in this world that would be easily be able to convert a PDF file into a braille file. There will always be formatting issues that will come into play if I do that. Thus, what is the solution? The solution is that the DAISY Consortium, Digital Accessible Information Systems, it created standards for digital text. If we are storing a digital book, let us follow a specific standard so that we get all the facilities that we require to read a book, so that our reading systems are able to provide all those facilities to us. For long, DAISY standards were considered as a special standard, a format designed specially for persons with blindness and low vision. That's the truth. It's not a false statement. But then what it was doing was that the publishing industry thought that for normal persons we have X standard, one standard, and when the same book is to be given to persons with print disability, let us convert it to a DAISY book and then give it to them. Which meant this republishing or recreation of the same book had to be done. Result was that we never found enough money and resources to convert all publications into a DAISY format. Result again, less than 1% of total publication ever got converted into any accessible format. We don't have any newspapers in DAISY, we don't have any general books that come out in DAISY, and the second consequence is, even when we have those 1%, there is a big time difference that comes in. A book is released and an accessible version is released after, if it ever gets released, it gets released after a few months or years. So, as a strategy, the DAISY Consortium actually said that these digital books are actually best digital books for the whole world. The way they are designed, they are the best books for everybody. And mind you, persons with blindness have been the first users of digital books. The world started using digital books much later. Persons with blindness used them much before them. And as a result of our experience in that arena, the whole world actually acknowledged this fact. And when it came to standardize how digital books for the world should look like, it actually adopted DAISY standards for the mainstream. And now that same mainstream standard based on DAISY standards is called EPUB. So EPUB is basically a gift of disability community to the rest of the world. In terms of its features, its rich reading experience, EPUB is the gift of disability community to the rest of the world. And what it means for us is that we might be sitting on a complete explosion and revolution to take place. We are talking of an era where the mainstream industry is adopting EPUB as its base standard for digital books. That also means when a publisher in India or anywhere actually releases a digital book version, there is no need of organizations such as NAB or other organizations to actually grab that book and then republish it after a few months or something. That book off the shelf will be accessible and readable by persons with blindness or low vision. Which means that if even 50% of the books are actually digital versions are published in EPUB format, those 50% right from day one will be accessible to us. Isn't that something great that we are moving towards? That's where our dream is. That's what EPUB means for us. EPUB is our biggest hope today. You can already find more EPUB books today on the net than were ever published in accessible format earlier, even in its early stages. So at this time, maybe I'll just invite my partner Prashant to maybe tell us something more about the key features which are there for EPUB books.
Okay, so EPUB books offer several benefits as compared to other formats. EPUB format allows reflowable text. What this means is the book content fits perfectly on different screen sizes. The same EPUB book can be read on the mobile phone screen and also on the much larger computer screen. Besides this, EPUB books are well structured. What this means is they support markup for different book elements like chapter headings, page numbers, footnotes, tables, and this helps interpreting the data by digital devices. And because of this structure, the document can then easily be converted into different other formats, including accessible formats such as Braille or audio. The EPUB books also are multimedia books. They allow integration of audio, video, images apart from text. And because it is based on HTML5, it is also possible to include scripting and interactivity in the EPUB books. And because it is an open standard, royalty-free standard, it can be, there are several players on different platforms. Many players are coming up, and it is also possible to create it from various formats and convert it into various formats. Yeah. Right?
So, what is the implication of that? That simply, just elaborating on what Prashant was saying about reflowable. See, I have currently a computer which has got a 14-inch screen, and my phone has a 3-inch screen. And I have a PDF file which is configured, which is a fixed format file, which is ideally suited for a 14-inch screen. Now, when I put it on a 3-inch screen, it doesn't readjust itself automatically. And I will have to adjust my reading pattern to be able to see all the text there. If it is an EPUB file, it actually will adjust to the screen itself. I don't have to keep panning from left and right to be able to see the text. Second major point is, being an open or mainstream format, universal design, which has been created using accessibility in mind, I will have EPUB players everywhere. My computer will have an EPUB player. There are web-based EPUB players. There will be EPUB players for Android phones, on Akash, on tablets, on iPhone, on iPad, on mobile phone. Every device, every digital device, we will be able to find EPUB players. So, why don't we actually just have a small demo of an EPUB book on my computer? So I have a player on my computer, software player, and I have an EPUB book open on it. And it is a text-only book. And please pay attention to what it reads.
In spite of himself, the captain could not regain